Hey everyone, Amy from raisingarrows.net here, and today we're going to talk about graduation ceremonies or graduation parties for your homeschool graduate. Whether or not you should do something formal, how you should accomplish this, and just some ideas that are maybe a little outside of the box for you that I would like to share from our family's experience now having graduated 3 different children and all 3 of them choosing 3 different ways to celebrate the end of their homeschooling years. So first I'm going to share what my 3 graduated homeschoolers chose to do, and then I'm going to share with you some other ideas and ways to make this work. Our first child to graduate ended up having a pretty big party with friends and family. However, we had just moved right before he graduated, and he did not want to graduate in a formal ceremony with a bunch of people he didn't know. We don't typically join homeschool co-ops very often, and so he just didn't know any of the people up here anyway, and so what we chose to do was to go down to the area where most of his grandparents and family live. We had a get together in a church gymnasium. We had the cake. We had all of his favorite foods. He invited friends and family. These were people that he was used to being around. These were his close friends, his close family, and people that he wanted to celebrate this moment with. And for him, food was a big thing. He wanted to have his favorite shrimp cocktail. He wanted to have his bacon-wrapped water chestnuts. We played a game about him. It was a really fun time with a rather large gathering. It was the very first time we had celebrated a homeschool graduate. Now, the next time we celebrated a homeschool graduate, about 3 years later, his sister graduated, and she's a much more introverted, quiet person. We ended up actually having 2 parties for her, though, because we had friends and family up in the area that we had moved to. So we had a party in that area because she had made acquaintances and friends, and there were some family members up in that area of the state that we had moved to. So we had a party there, and we just had it at our house in the living room. We had a slideshow of pictures of her. And then we had a very intimate gathering of friends and family down in the area where I said her grandparents live. And we had that at a coffee shop where we ordered coffee. We paid for everyone's coffee. We brought out the family albums and let people thumb through those. They got to congratulate her, but it was a much more low-key thing. And she actually works as a barista. So it was something fun for her to do, to be at a coffee shop and to have everybody come in and just have these little conversations here and there. It was much better for her introverted brain. Now, our third child is an extrovert. However, she chose not to have a party at all. She made some really fun announcements and she sent those out. They had some fun pictures she had done on a photo shoot with a friend. They just basically announced that she had graduated, and then you could send congratulations to her at her address. She did not want to do anything extra. And I think a lot of that is because of her personality. Now, while she really loves spending time with friends and family, she does not like to be the center of attention. She likes to just go and do things. So originally what she wanted to do was go glamping, but that kind of fell through, and I really hope at some point I can make that happen for her. But when that fell through, she decided she just wanted to send out announcements and keep going with her life. She was already doing what she wanted to do as an adult. She has a couple of jobs that she really enjoys, and so she didn't really want to take the time out to go down and have a party. And she just decided that she wanted to keep it pretty low key, but have these fun announcements. It was very her, it was very nice, and it was just something different, and that was okay. That's what she wanted to do. So as you can see, most of our homeschool graduation ceremonies and parties have been pretty low key, actually. Even my son's, that was a little bigger to do, was still pretty low key considering. So a few reasons why you might have a more formal homeschool graduation ceremony. Maybe you're part of a homeschool group and they have a formal ceremony. So you have the cap and the gown and you hand the diploma to your child, and it's just a more formal atmosphere. Maybe your child actually loves Pomp and Circumstance and loves to be kind of the center of attention, and they are super excited to walk that stage and have all the fal-de-ras on. That may be their personality, and so you want to have a more formal graduation ceremony for them because that's what they like. Perhaps also you've had a child who has really struggled through school and you want to award and reward them for their hard work by putting on a really big shindig. That's a great idea and a great way to finish off their homeschool years. Maybe you enjoyed all the pomp and circumstance. Do you notice how I'm using that pomp and circumstance in there? It's so witty because that's the name of the graduation, whatever, dirge. It's really not a dirge. It's the thing that you go down the aisle to or walk across the stage to or whatever. But anyway, it's called pomp and circumstance. So maybe you enjoyed that. Maybe you enjoyed all the music and the cap and gown and the stoles and all of that stuff, and you want that for your child. Sometimes it's got to be about you, mom and dad. So maybe you want to do something like that. Or maybe friends and family will be greatly disappointed if there's not some sort of formal ceremony. This is especially true if you've pulled a child out of public school toward the end of their schooling years and the grandparents and the family members and the friends have kind of been expecting this big graduation, and then you don't end up doing it, and it may be a bit of a disappointment. I wouldn't make that your first reason for doing a more formal ceremony, but it is something you need to consider. Now, on the other hand, why might you want to have a casual homeschool graduation ceremony? Well, first of all, when our oldest graduated, if I remember right, I think I was pregnant, and so I needed things to be a little more low key, and actually a lot of family members pitched in to make it the shindig that it was. But sometimes your family circumstances are such that you need things to be calmer. Maybe you're not part of a homeschool group, or your child does not enjoy excess kind of events. Maybe you don't have any family nearby, and so there's no real reason to have a big party without friends and family. This is particularly true if you've moved recently and it's going to be very difficult for you to get back home to have a party with the grandparents. And maybe you just don't have the budget or the energy or the time to put together a really big formal homeschool graduation. That's okay too. Now, as I've been sharing this, perhaps you've been thinking about your own soon-to-be homeschool graduate, and I hope that the wheels are turning and you're beginning to think of some things that are very much them. Are they more formal? Are they more casual? What might they enjoy? And that's really what I try to think about when it comes to my homeschool graduates. What will they enjoy? I give them a few months lead time and I ask them to start thinking about what would they like to do? What would most speak to their heart and their soul and most be rewarding for the work that they have put in the last 12 years? You may need to make it about other family members as well, but I really try to keep it mostly about the homeschool graduate themselves. What best honors them as a graduate? You want this to be memorable for them in a good way. You want this to be something that they carry with them for the rest of their lives, that they actually enjoyed and participated in, and it was very much them. So what are some ways that you can make homeschool graduation memorable, even if you keep it low key? Number one, send real invitations. I know in this day and age, Facebook invitations are all the rage for everything from baby showers to graduation ceremonies to birthday parties, but I have a hard time getting on board with that for graduation. People want to see pictures of the graduate. They want a real invitation that they can keep as a keepsake. This is kind of like a wedding. You know, wedding invitations, you don't want to send those over Facebook. Graduation, I feel like, is very similar to that. It's a significant life event. Give it the merit that it deserves. Number two, invite people who have been instrumental in your child's life. This could be friends, family friends, people that they have met at work, people that have been instrumental in guiding them through their homeschooling years and who will be there for them beyond the homeschooling years. These are people that are important to you, your family, and your child. Invite those people. This will make it a much more special event if those people are there to celebrate it with your child. Number three, get a special outfit for your child. Something that delineates that they are the homeschool graduate, even if this is the cap and the gown. But I would say get something to go under that cap and gown that has some sort of significance to the day, something special. It's a special party outfit for them. Again, some kids are not going to care about that, but some kids will. And so you want to be honoring to what they might enjoy and go shopping with them and find things that they enjoy and would want to wear on that special day. Number 4, throw an after graduation party or reception. Have your child's favorite finger foods and drinks and desserts. Invite people over, even if it's just in the backyard or on the deck or just in your dining room and living room. Do something after the graduation ceremony, particularly if you're having a formal graduation, that friends and family can come to and really meet and greet and enjoy talking to the graduate. Number 5, have photos and scrapbooks available of your child all through the years, some various homeschooling type things as well, some senior pictures. Make those photos available. Everybody loves to see photos, and so make those available to your guests. Number 6, if your child is up for it, have them give an address at the reception. And when I say address, I don't mean like the Gettysburg Address or some sort of big long speech. Basically, this is one of those things that can help them not have to tell everybody what their plans are from here on out. Because if I have learned one thing from having 3 homeschool graduates, it is the fact that they do not enjoy telling people what they're going to do 1,564 times a day. So if you let them get up, explain what they're going to be doing to the entire crowd, that's a question they don't have to continue to answer, particularly if it's a little bit of a dicey one where they're kind of feeling like they don't know what they're doing yet and they don't want to have to say that over and over. Let them get up, say it out loud, and be done with it. Number 7, have a guest book and a basket for cards and money. It's just a super simple thing that you can do. Have a guest book where people can sign so that your child knows who came when they look back on it in later years, and have a small basket off to the side that fits cards and money so that when people come in, they have a place to put things. Number 8, choose decorations that reflect your child's personality. That may be no decorations at all. It may be boisterous balloons and streamers. It may be confetti. It may be special plates. Whatever it is, if your child is very elegant, do something elegant. If your child is very boisterous, do some bright colors. Use their favorite colors. And if you have school colors that you may have chosen for your school, go ahead and incorporate those as well. You might even have a banner made that has your school name on it with class of whatever year it is they're graduating. Make it special and make it very much them. And number 9, don't forget to send thank you cards. You're going to have to probably remind your graduate, particularly if they are busy this summer, but please, please, please remind your child to send thank you cards. There seems to be a big gap these days in thanking people for gifts. I rarely see thank you cards from wedding gifts. I rarely see thank you cards from graduation gifts. And I know that sometimes when you thank the person while you're there, that's maybe not as necessary. But back in my day, yes, I'm dating myself, my mother made sure that I sent thank you cards to everyone. And I have continued to do that with my kids when it comes to graduation gifts. It's very, very important that you thank people for taking the time to think of your child. Now, I'm curious what you have done for your homeschool graduates or what you're thinking about doing when they do graduate. I would love to hear from you in the comments section because we can all kind of learn from each other and bounce ideas off each other. Tell me about your child and what you think would be unique and honoring to them as a homeschool graduation ceremony or reception. Do you think they're going to want something formal or do you think they're going to want something more casual? I'll be honest, I was surprised when my 3rd child said she just didn't really want to do anything, but that's okay. That's who she is. And we sent out those neat graduation announcements and she's fine with that. That's all she cares about. And that's great. And I am honoring that for her. So I want to hear what you're doing to honor your child as well. And until next time, this is the Raising Arrows channel where we talk all things large family homemaking and homeschooling. I will see you next time.